I came home and tried to talk Jan into doing one last renovation project.
Okay.
And here we are.
In this episode, I had the privilege of sitting down with Jan and Matt Mathews, the owners and visionaries behind the Mill Valley Lumberyard. They purchased this historic property to keep it from being bulldozed and turned into residential units. Subsequently, they decided to revitalize it into something that would encourage more community interaction and retain the history and character of its past.
All right, here we are in the beautiful setting here, the Mill Valley Lumberyard, downtown Mill Valley. Jan and Matt, thanks again for joining me for my Community Spotlight series. Let's get right into this interview. Why don't you share a little bit about yourself and the history of the Mill Valley Lumberyard?
Yeah, we moved here in 1990, and we bought an old Victorian that needed a lot of work, and that's when I discovered the Mill Valley Lumberyard. Like everyone else, I was concerned when we saw things were slowing down, and came down for one last bag of popcorn before they closed.
Let's backtrack a little bit. Can you give a little history on the lumberyard?
Well, it was a working lumberyard as we were talking about, and there's a lot of
And a mill.
and a mill,
Yeah,
right? And
we really worked hard to keep all the vintage things here.
Okay.
All the buildings sit in the original footprint.
Okay.
we didn't add any square footage. It's the same building. We just had to bring it up to current day codes. Our concern was basically that the buildings would be torn down, and we're like, hey, this is, so much history right in the middle of our community.
Yeah.
And so we just said, let's
And then you've been just, putting your heart and soul into this place, right? Over the last, how many years? 5 years now?
No, geez, it's
been a little longer.
It's almost 8 years. Yeah.
Excellent.
Almost
Well,
8 years.
It's turned out amazing. I love coming
thank
down
you.
here, and that giving that community feel, it's really, really special.
It's real important to us that we have the small businesses here too.
You'll see on any of our publications or anything, it's craftsmanship and community since 1892.
Yeah.
Because for us, it is about the craftsmanship, and which the lumberyard also, that's what the history was all about.
Right.
And community. So that was really our main goal.
It's been a very interesting year, to say the least. Over the last 12 months, what has been the most challenging thing for you and the Mill Valley Lumberyard?
Well, I'd say just like the community as a whole, the world as a whole, coronavirus has been probably the biggest impact. And what it has done is really had everyone working together. And I think sometimes challenges like that can bring out even more of a sense of community and support.
What's really been a nice thing for people in the community is the amount of open space we have here, and that allows people to keep their distance, but they can still see familiar faces.
Yeah, we see people in behind us here sitting out, sun shining.
Yeah.
Typical morning in Mill Valley. Let's look to the future. 5 years from now, where do you see the Mill Valley Lumberyard?
Well, one of the things, the number of young people that we see coming here in their late teens or early 20s, and they bring friends from out of town, and they just have expressed how much they enjoy it. And we look forward to them starting their own families and having the next generation of folks here. And so it will become a place that has a lasting memory for multi-generations. So
that's fantastic. It's people like you that I love showcasing in this Community Spotlight series. I value supporting local community. You obviously done the same thing. You've created an amazing space here. Any of you watching, be sure to come down and check out the Mill Valley Lumberyard at some point. Whether you're in San Francisco Bay Area, whether you're across the country, it's a great destination spot to come to. Plenty of shops, beautiful weather. It's fantastic. Thank you again for being part of this Community Spotlight series, and I look forward to bumping into the town.
Oh, great.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.